Hi, this is Regeline Sabat, also known as Gigi. You're listening to Walk With Me podcast. My guest today is Patricia Barnes. Patricia is a registered nurse, blogger, motivational speaker, number one best-selling author, mentor, coach, and founder of Go Patty LLC. Welcome to the show, Patricia.
Thank you, Gigi.
You're welcome. It's an honor to have you here today. Now, why don't you start off by telling us more about you and where you are from?
Yes, thank you for the wonderful introduction. I am born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. As you said, I'm a registered nurse, blogger, motivational speaker.
I love it. Now, tell us more about what inspired you to become a registered nurse.
I was inspired by my mom and my grandmother, Virginia, because they were caregivers. And my mom, she's a nursing assistant, and I used to go to work with them. And I always remember saying, I'm going to do that, but I'm going to take it a step further, and I'm going to college to be a nurse at a young age. I probably was like 9 years old.
Wow, very uplifting. My mother is also a nurse, so my heart truly goes out to you. Now, tell us more about what led you to become an author and launch your company, Go Patty LLC.
Yes, so my purpose, my calling in life is to be a motivational speaker. And, motivational speakers really talk about their life. And so my goal was to inspire, motivate, and empower others who can relate to my story, to work through your pain, your fears, your insecurities, regardless of your background. And me being the first generational college grad, I really wanted to encourage others that you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have an example set before you, but whatever your goals are, you can achieve them. So dream big, dream bold, take action, execute, and always have fun in between.
I love it. Dream big, very powerful. Now, tell us more about the major challenge that you had to overcome in your life.
I love that question. And I would have to say the biggest challenge I have overcome are toxic relationships, especially with family. We love family so much, and I'm all about my family. But as I was evolving into this woman that God created me to be and walking in my purpose as a motivational speaker, it's so important that we learn how to have healthy relationships. And a part of us being whole is identifying parts of us that no longer serve us. So once I realized that, yes, I'm really good with personal development and my career is going good, but I can really work on my relationships. So I had to take a step back and ask myself, where did these toxic relationships, and how do I even allow certain people to treat me a certain kind of way that's not healthy? And when I looked at some of the patterns from my family, I realized that I had to work on toxic relationships. So overcoming that is really, really hard because, when you have to tell people that you love and you don't want to hurt them, sometimes they don't receive the truth too good. And when I had to have those difficult conversations with family and some of my old friends, it was heartbreaking because I knew the moment that I began to speak my truth that it may ultimately change the dynamics of the relationships. And some relationships it did, but some we were able to really work through our issues and have a stronger, healthier relationship.
And how have you changed as a person since identifying your toxic relationships?
I realized that part of me was damaged from toxic relationships, being a person who's really loving and kind and generous. That sometimes when you overgive, and sometimes I love hard, that it can be overbearing to some people who are not used to receiving love. And for a moment, it almost changed me because I no longer wanted to be the quote unquote good person. Like my grandmother used to call me Mother Teresa. And so I really had to challenge myself to continue to be the kind heart, loving person that I am, because that's ultimately another reason why I became a nurse, because I'm empathetic, I care, I love to take care of other people. But you really have to fight hard to keep the good qualities in you because we live in a cold world. But it's the kindness within us that helps the world to be a better place. And we have to keep those good qualities.
I love it. Very inspiring. Now, what is your best advice to the audience for walking with purpose and living a life of happiness?
Be authentic and don't be ashamed to be you. You can't be anybody but yourself. Don't compare yourself to anyone because you're always going to feel like you're not good enough. But you must know that you are good enough. You've been enough. Like I always used to say, I don't really speak eloquent. How can I be a motivational speaker? But you have to look at the big picture and know who you are and what you bring to the table, that you are valuable. And with practice, you can be the best. And as the great Les Brown says, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to start to be great. And you are great and you will be great.
That's right. Very powerful. And as you just mentioned, practice makes you better.
Yeah.
Very powerful. Now, Patricia, where can the audience find you?
You can find me at gopatty.com or social media, Instagram and Facebook at Go Patty Brand.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out Patricia at gopatty.com and also all of our social media platforms. And Patricia, thank you again for being a guest on Walk With Me podcast. You have a blessed day.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. God bless you too.